beautiful souls. Thank you for being with us. I would like to introduce you my wonderful friend Vicky, and we would like to talk a little bit about her experience with Akashic Record. And I asked Vicky to share with you how was for her. Did she like it? Did she feel comfortable? Because lots of people who are asking me about the reading, they are very nervous. They don't know what to expect, but actually the process is really pleasant and beautiful. So Vicky, if you could tell us, why did you ask me to do it reading for you?
Thank you, Beata. Hello, everyone. So the reason I decided, in fact, to reach out to you about that is, first, I actually had no idea what Akashic Record reading will be, and for me, I was drawn to this new experience, which was quite mystical. And from what the beautiful information that you sent me before I made my mind about the session, it was very well written, informative, and it felt like it's a very deep dive into something that I've never experienced before. So I really was drawn into trying something new with open mind, without really knowing what is going to happen. Yes.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I know that you are open and you like spiritual stuff because you are very spiritual as
Yes.
well. But do you think that anyone who is not spiritual can benefit from the
Absolutely,
reading?
yes, absolutely. You don't have to be spiritual to do this, in my opinion. I do believe that if you're seeking healing of a sort, if you have any struggles, if you have even uncertainties in your life and you're uncertain of what decision to take in life, or which path to choose, I think this is a perfect place. Akashic Record can be a perfect session to shed light and help you connect with yourself, with your intuition. So when you go out there and you have to make decisions or whatever you need to do with your life, you're a little bit more affirmed within yourself and sure and certain, and you take those decisions and choices with a little bit more ease. So that was very helpful for me personally.
Yeah, because this is very important what Vicky said, because actually I'm only channeling, I only a channel, so I can say to advise with some situation, I can say do this, do this, do this, because I'm experienced person of my age, yes, so we can say like that. And actually, sometimes we are getting totally different information, do this, or you should try this or this. But did you feel that you were pushed to do it something during the session, or what I mean? So for example, we ask a question and later we got the answer. Did you feel a pressure that you have to do it and you don't want to do it, or you had a choice? How it did look like during the session?
Yes, very good question. Now thinking back about at the session, I felt like I'm given guidance, but I have the choice ultimately to decide what to do. I didn't feel pressured in any way or sort. If anything, I felt like I'm given a different perspective into my world that probably I've not been able to see, as I think we're all so caught up in our lives. But that for me was very informative. But at any point, I did not feel the pressure to take a decision. If anything, now looking back, because we did the session a couple of weeks ago, and a lot of things have happened in my life since then, but I think some of them are a reflection of the session in a more metaphorical way, so they were indirectly related to what is happening now. But it's definitely guided me to to take a different choice, to take a different path.
Yeah, because our spiritual guides, they see for the future, not the short one, and they can guide us really, really well. We went to some healing process,
Yes,
if
we
I
did.
remember.
Yeah.
How was it for you?
Very releasing. I, in fact, did not really was aware, I guess, at the time that I needed that, because I came to you with a completely different question in mind. And again, as I said, I did not really have expectations, kind of mixed. like I was just open-minded to really feel into the session itself. And it led me to a path of healing, to a thing that I was not consciously aware it was there, and that it needed to be seen, it needed to be held, it needed space in order to be released. So I'm very, very grateful for that. Thank you.
We are grateful too with your angels. Could you uncover a little bit of the top secret information on what we were working?
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting because the session in itself brought a specific person into the session that person has been appeared a lot in my dreams, but I did not understood why, and it's been haunting me in the sense that I felt very stressed every time I will wake up from that dream. And again, that session, when I came, I didn't have that person in mind that he will come to that session, right? And then that person appeared in the session, and then the dreams in fact stopped. So
we closed some
absolutely,
chapter,
we
we
closed
healed
some, yeah,
something.
definitely, yeah.
And you had 2 sessions.
Yes, I did, yeah.
And another session was about business, because
Yes.
you're really businesswoman.
I am,
You've got so much on the plate. You can share so much in
Yes.
holistic stuff, like your beautiful psychedelic breathwork, which I really love it. You are a yoga teacher, where the classes are really brilliant, because I've done few with
Thank
you, especially during the pandemic time.
Thank you.
And you are as well very into marketing. This
Yes.
is your main field.
Yes.
But could you share how it did help you reading about the business?
Yeah, that helped me in the sense that instead of, in fact, turning my back away from something that I've built over the last decade, really, as that's my background, that's what I studied, and that's what I've progressed in my career on a corporate level, and I've learned a lot, and those skills are very not transparent, but transversible, in the sense that I can enable others which are also in the path of, breaking through, their life, and instead of going into this 9-to-5 circle. But also the session gave me guidance about, how I can bring my spiritual part of my existence with my very much, business focused mind and augment that I just happen to have and developed. And I've never seen that they both can actually coexist, if that makes sense. And in that session that it was shown to us that needs to be together, that there's some link there that needs to happen. And I felt very inspired after our session, and in fact I put together a plan which, in fact, I want to help small businesses across the world to help them put a solid marketing with a soul strategy. And what I mean by that is, during the session and the coaching, if you wish, or mentoring that I'm going and I'm offering already to people, is about doing marketing and strategy for your business with a soul to which means with the energy that is suitable for you. It's, I think that the marketing world and any business world is very aggressive, and sometimes if you go against what you feel comfortable with, I'm not saying you should not come out of your comfort zone, but you should be also mindful of where you are energetically, mentally, emotionally. And because I have the skills to guide people through different experiences, whether that's meditation, breathwork, etc., and just combining those so that we can create from there. So we start on an energetic level, and then we dive deeper while we are more aligned with our energy to put a business strategy that is really aligned with who we are, where we want to go, where we want to take the business.
It connects with us. It resonates.
Yeah,
not because everyone does.
Not because everybody's doing it, so I should be doing it. It's because what's right for you, what's right for your purpose, your business, your vision, the way you want to evolve. And
because you were doing everything like that, but for the businesses, typical businesses. And in the Akashic record, you've got the guidance. connect this with
Yes.
needs of the person, but on the soul level.
Absolutely.
So they can be very happy at work,
Mm.
and they can do even more because they will do it from the deepness of the heart.
Yes.
Isn't it?
And that session really enlightened me on how to do that. And even if you wish, it gave me some more confidence that I'm ready to do that, for which I'm eternally grateful, because now I know where I'm headed as well. And I can ultimately help others. And even if people, even people that they come only for a personal reason, I'm certain that other aspects are going to be impacted. It's like a domino effect.
Yeah.
So once you start working on one side of your life, everything else starts to align as well.
But if I remember
Yeah.
properly, you were a little bit lost as well when
Yeah.
we before the reading,
Yeah.
because you've got enough the business of the
Yes.
marketing,
Yeah.
the working in the offices, and working with people
Yeah.
on this business level.
Yeah.
Because once you step into spiritual life,
Yes.
you are more drawn to the
Yes.
spiritual stuff to
Yeah.
do it, and you want to leave all the marketing. But
Mm.
actually, the Akashic was brilliant because she could bring everything together. And
Yeah.
I see the program, and it's fantastic, and clients, they like it. So any spiritual people, if
Yeah.
they want to work, they want to expand in their business, or they want to build up their business, you are welcome.
Thank you, my dear.
My love. I would like to ask you another question. How was for you the session?
Mm.
Did you feel safe? Did you feel judged, or whatever? How your experience was?
Yeah, I know you for quite a while, but I don't think that was, that probably there was element of that, but also I've always felt safe working with you all the time.
Thank you.
Yes, definitely. You hold the space very well. You're always very well prepared. You're always very well informed me of what to expect, what I need to do, what I should not do before the session and after. And also I love also, so yes, it's great safe space for sure. I felt completely not judged at all. You're very accommodative. So if, let's say, at the beginning we had like an idea of what we want to discuss, and ultimately, like, I think they changed, when we met and we fell into each other's energy. I was like, oh, okay, like maybe this. So you were accommodating, you were flexible to accommodate that I changed my decision about the topic and with the focus of the session. And then I also like the fact that after the session finished, it was not really finished because you checked on me, and it shows a different care to me, that you're really holding space, not just for the sake of one session. Here we come for 1 hour, we meet, we talk, bam, it's all done and dusted, go, off you go. But you provided me with enough information and support before the session, and then during the session I had a wonderful, amazing experience, and then after the session you followed up as well, which I think it's just something that is very hard to find nowadays, really.
Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
But how did you find your life after the sessions?
It's a big question. Right. Well, because again, it depends on the energy that the session brought. So one of them, I think the first one, the process has already started, right? I was not feeling 100% well. I was already releasing some of the things that really came up. So after the session, again, it depends on the session. I think it will vary from person to person. For me personally, the process began like before the session. Then we did a session with you, and I had another couple of days where I can feel that my body was energetically releasing things and emotionally, and I welcome that. I think people just also need to have an understanding, that just an open mind perspective, that everything can happen, and they just need to hold the space for that. Because if I was to come to you and you put so much work and effort into this, and you provided me with great service, if I was to back off and kind of, turn my back away and not accommodate myself, the session would have not served me. But yes, again, don't want to repeat myself, but it just depends. I felt that I was going through a process that
you were releasing.
Yes, releasing,
so sometimes
so
when we're holding a lot, it's difficult to release. So when our body, our soul wants to release and we are holding back, we feel very tired. And
we do.
we might go through emotion, but once we do it, it's okay.
And I think the second session, again, thinking about the experience, I actually before that, and this is again comparing and contrasting, the first session was very, like it took like a whole week. Like it's a process, a couple of days before, during, and then after. Whereas the second session, if anything, I think it's just, it happened the session, and then within 48 hours I put a plan together about how I'm going to support people with businesses and how I'm bringing spirituality with business together, and you know, it just happened so quickly.
Yeah, because you know, this is the process. Sometimes it's energy change during the process when we're working. Sometimes it's few days, sometimes weeks, sometimes months. We have our free will, so it depends on us how we open our heart, how we allow ourselves to let go of the stuff, how comfortable we are. Yes. During this session, we actually to activate process of healing. When we start, actually, when you're coming in open with the topics to work with open mind, this is the like initiation of the process. During the session, you are getting healing through me because I'm channeling the stuff. But to close the process, you use to masters and teachers, they're giving some homework. Did you get any homework?
I don't think so, to be honest. I maybe I did, and maybe my homework to actually sit down and put everything into one, which now speaking is probably been my homework, because even when I share with you that I've done it, you yourself was like, oh, that was quickly, and I think it just happened naturally without me trying to push it, but because I had so much clarity, and I was like, right, let me just give it a go. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I even happened to, you know, have a client that I presented it to. They loved it, and you know, we are working already, so it just, everything clicked. So I think the homework was just sit down, do this, and make it happen, and trust more.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing with us your experience. Thank you for listening us. I would like to ask you only one thing, because now are some terms and conditions change on the social media. So do we have your permission
to use
this video?
Yes, absolutely. Always for you. Always for you, my dear.
So, my love, if you would like to connect with your soul, go to the listening some advices, go to the healing process. If you are ready, you know where to find me. Wishing you beautiful day and lots of love.